I will say it once again. This is celebrity culture gone crazy. Yogaraj Singh, who's my first guest tonight, and I have my other guests also. I welcome Madan Lal ji. I welcome Atul Vasan tonight. I welcome Vijay Lokapalli. I welcome Monty Panesar. Fantastic. I welcome Srivats Goswami. I welcome my old friend, great friend, and veteran sports journalist Gulu Ezekiel. I thank you all. First, I want to talk to Yogaraj ji. Yogaraj ji, what's going on? आप तो खुलकर बात करते हैं. You speak openly, I am told. So I want somebody who doesn't have, I would say, something to gain or lose, because otherwise people are too diplomatic. ये हो क्या रहा है Indian cricket में? What is this drama going on? What exactly is the inside story in your view?
Let me congratulate you, sir, what you said right now. I damn care about what people say. I have to say what I have to say. Well done.
Thank you.
ऐसे लोग हिंदुस्तान में कम हैं. Indian cricket, I have been very closely associated for a long time. And I think sometimes when you're winning the games, everything seems to be fine. When players are doing very well, everything is okay, the superstars or whatever it is, the cricketers. It has been my fraternity, it has been my family for a long time, sir. But when you're losing, when you are losing series after series, which has been happening for a long time, on and off, Indian team has been going and winning outside Australia, England, West Indies, throughout long time. Bishan Singh Bedi, Region, Baba Pataudi, all this. And even my time, and then all these honorable cricketers sitting here.
Everyone
But problem is that we are आगे कुछ पीछे कुछ. We are double standard people. हमको बड़ा शौक है कि कैमरे के सामने कुछ अरे यार everything is fine, everything is okay. पीछे क्या होता है? It's a long story. I'm writing a book on Yogaraj Singh's biography. और वो आप जब सुनेंगे, जब वो छपेगी 2027 में रिलीज होगी, तो उसके बीच में सारी मेरी जिंदगी है और क्रिकेटिंग फर्टिलिटी की बहुत सारी बातें हैं. और then lot of things will come out, which at the moment it is difficult for me to see, क्योंकि वो एग्जाम्पल देना है. बट हमारे यहाँ जो at the moment what's happening is that first of all it is very important that Indian team is going down. It's like happening in 2000. Saurav Ganguly's time, when the team was on the seventh standard in the world, whatever it was happening, and then all the youngsters came in and the team did very well. So I think a lot of things are there. All these cricketers who are sitting there, these beautiful faces, they know what is there, सच्चाई क्या है. लेकिन उस सच्चाई को ये बयान नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि दिल बड़ा कमजोर है इनका. इनको रहना है दुनिया में, कुछ बोलेंगे तो क्या होगा, कुछ बताएंगे तो क्या होगा. बट आई नो ईच एंड एवरी वन ऑफ देम कि क्रिकेट के अलावा हमारे देश में क्रिकेट फ्रेटर्निटी में बहुत कुछ चलता है, बहुत कुछ होता है. एंड आई बिलीव टुडे when the team is not doing well, lot of speculations are coming up, they're trying to do this, trying to do that. But I would say, as a cricketer, as a coach who has been there with my academies and with my son and all these people, I think it's time to support them. अभी टाइम नहीं है. जब आदमी गिरा हो ना नीचे, तब बात नहीं करते. जब आदमी खड़ा हो, तलवार सामने हो, फेस टू फेस हो, आंख में आंख डाल के फिर बोलते हैं कि तुमने ये किया. So I think this time, at this moment of time where we are talking, at the moment we should shut this down and let the team come up and let the boys do well in coming series. Then we can talk a lot about it. So that's what I say. I support them. And I support everybody because they.
But performance should matter, no, Yogaraj?
I want.
Does performance matter or not matter?
All the media people.
Does performance matter or not matter?
It does matter, sir.
Then why should Virat Kohli be in the team if it matters? Why should Virat Kohli be in the team if it matters?
You're right. I think, sir, look, let me put it this way. They have been great players, right? The Rohit Sharma, Virat, they have been great players. But when the chips go down, all the swords, they come out. But I believe it is very important to keep them in the squad, because if you throw them out, both of them, the whole team will collapse. You know what happens when you become seniors?
Both of them means who are you talking about? Virat Kohli and who? Rohit Sharma.
Right from
You're talking about Virat.
2011 से team का debacle चल रहा है. Why? We all know this. And now the team has gone down. We need to support them. And Virat and Rohit, I still feel they should be there because they have been our great cricketers. And I support them fully. Let's get together and let's come up and do well for our country. That's what I feel.
No, who should we throw out? Are you talking about Dhoni? Who are you talking about?
Sir.
Who should we throw out? You को permanent place तो नहीं है ना? Is there some reservation system going on? Because I'll tell you one thing, my worry is there's so much money in this, so much endorsements, so much commerce, so much money in this, that people are not looking at cricket. There is no purity anymore. And there are money, sponsors, others, all kinds of nonsense is coming in. Nobody cares about the performance. 5, 7, 3 runs, 5 runs, 6 runs, 7 runs, 3 runs.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with you, what you're saying. जिधर पैसा आएगा और बहुत पैसा आएगा और 2 नंबर का पैसा आएगा, ब्लैक का पैसा आएगा, वो वहां पे यही होगा. This is what will happen there, sir. I believe what you say. But I think it's very important for a cricketer to concentrate on the game. Because all this money which has come in, it has come through the cricket, through the game, to the players. बहुत अच्छा लगता है. They get good money, they have slogged themselves.
Yeah.
But this money is also breaking them. See, IPL is the worst thing which happened to India. But when they say, oh, it's the best thing which happened to India, well, I don't agree with this. Fine, as long as you play a competitive cricket and perform. But when the money is everything, यहाँ पैसा खुदा बन गया, it's God. And when money becomes God, every damn thing will go to hell. That's what's happening. All the cricketers in my academy also. Today I had a match. I have seen the best of cricketers playing unfit people. Oh, sir, अरे क्या 4 over डालना IPL खेलना, a lot of money comes in. This is the way they talk
but
about it.
But Saurav Ganguly was removed during Greg Chappell incident. This is Greg Chappell 2.0. At that time, Mohammad Kaif and your son, Yuvraj, came in. Ganguly left. He came back when he performed. That's the way it should be, no?
He came in, Harbhajan came in.
Harbhajan came in. So जब non-performing asset नहीं जाएंगे तो नए लोग कैसे आएंगे?
I always believe that when you should know when to retire. But I believe up and down hota hai. But when it is happening regularly, then you have to look at it seriously. But at the moment, I believe, sir, what I believe as a fraternity man, as a family man, let's support them. Let's give them a chance. Say, chalo yaar, utho kuch karo. Nahi karenge to then things will go wrong, absolutely. Well, I'm happy for one thing, that the team came back and everybody supported it.
Okay, wait.
This is very good at the moment. It's very important.
Yogaraj,
cricket. Let's support them, please.
Yogaraj, I think some of these non-performing assets should be removed. But anyway, I don't know anything about cricket. मुझे just लगता है कोई perform नहीं करता है, निकाल दीजिए. Yogaraj Singh ji, thank you very much. You can stay if you want to because it was a one-on-one. I have Madan Lal with me also today. I am opening up. Should I open up the panel? Okay. Viewers, forgive my thoughts. Forgive my thoughts, but I believe cricket is not, first of all, we must be clear, cricket is not a global sport. Forgive my thoughts. Indians will be scandalized. It's a local game. More countries play Kho-Kho than cricket. Kho-Kho is globally more competitive than cricket. We have hyped cricket. We feel very good that here's a game in which we have a chance. We have a chance because very few countries play it in the first place. Okay, forgive me all for saying this. Madan Lalji, what should happen? Whatever the case, what should be done with what is happening in the team, Both sides, Gautam Gambhir and Virat Kohli, PR teams are very active and they're fighting each other. What should be done in your view?
Well, I don't think they are fighting, but they must be having a view, their own views.
So there are all leaks going on all the time, sir. Leaks are all over the place.
But leaks, like who leaks all these things, It's the team members or the people or those who are sitting in the dressing room. They leaks us everything, But, there is always a communication, between the coach and the players. And they decide what they're going to do. And being Gautam Gambhir as a coach, he's a bit upfront person, He always talks straight. So, sometimes these players doesn't like it, you have to manage the player properly. So that's the one thing. The other thing is, see, if you're not performing, these people like Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, they have performed They have performed very well in the past, and that's why they get a long rope, and they are the match winner players. That's why the coach, always has a faith in them.
So are you saying this country has no more players to replace? Are you saying there's a shortage of talent?
No, we are not shortage of talent. We have a lot of talent, but these players are the match winner players. That's why they don't drop them, because if you think 4 years back when Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli went to Australia, they were different. Now it's different, because the 4 years means they are 37, 38. The hand and eye coordination is not going to be the same. But sometimes you do get into some problem, like Virat got offside or stuff, because that gets into your mind. Then that doubt creates. But definitely Rohit Sharma was absolutely out of touch. Like that, he didn't get runs. But the thing is, always the coach has the faith in these players. That's why they keep on picking them. I'll tell you one story. I was a coach for the Indian team when Mohammad Azharuddin came to me and he said, drop me. I said, no, sorry, I can't drop you because you are my best player. You have to give them a lot of confidence to get the things going. Because Australia is always a tough series. बहुत ज़्यादा tough series होती है. इसी वजह से जो coach है, he always think, I play the best team. That's what the coach do. But league is the players or the people who are sitting there, the manager, they all leagues, I don't believe, कि बाहर बातें नहीं निकलेगी. I always believe कि बाहर बातें निकलेंगी ही निकलेंगी, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए. Anything, happens, बात बाहर निकल जाती है. कोई ना कोई बीसीसीआई का या किसी का कोई ना कोई आदमी होता है जो लीग.
But they're fighting after. I mean, okay, so I don't know, but from what I hear, I'll tell you what I'm hearing. Srivats and Monty can take this. I'm hearing that after a crushing defeat to Australia, especially in Melbourne, leaks went all over. Everybody started leaking. There were 3 days separating the MCG loss and the start of the final test at the SCG. The series was alive. India still had a chance to retain some honor in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, but there were complete leaks going on both sides. And journalists were lapping it up. Stories were being planted. I consider that one of the reasons for the loss. Monty, what do you think?
Look, I think during that Melbourne, Test match, the reaction gave it all when India avoided the follow-on, and then Gautam Gambhir was, in the dressing room giving it the high-five fist. You kind of felt that he's under immense pressure at the moment, and all the other teammates were obviously high-fiving each other. We've avoided the follow-on, like it was a victory. But in fact, it was just that they fought themselves back into the Test match. And then afterwards, the leaks kind of happen. It kind of suggests that are the senior players really taking Gautam Gambhir seriously? Do they see him as a frontline head coach when it's only 4 or 5 years ago when they were like teammates, and suddenly now they've got to see him as a head coach. That transition period, are they really listening to him, or are they just saying in team meetings, right, yeah, we'll play this way, we go this way, and then they go out there, play their natural game, and then Gautam Gambhir is sort of fighting amongst himself and the players thinking, actually, they are not listening to me. They just want to play attacking cricket. Like you said, they, want to play their sort of natural superstar style of cricket and not actually play according to situation. There's been so many times throughout the Border-Gavaskar Trophy where India had the momentum and then they gave it away by playing silly shots and reckless cricket. And then you sort of question, actually, what impact does Gautam Gambhir have on this team, and do they actually really listen to him, or do they just go out and do however they want to play?
Yeah, they're not listening. That's one argument, Atul. They're not listening. And they don't respect Gautam Gambhir. They don't like his style. And Gautam Gambhir also saying that I've had enough with these players. I don't want to be the coach. It's frustrating for me. He has said, and it's been quoted, sources, has had enough. Now, 184 defeat win in the Boxing Day test. He lectures the team, pulls them up. This is what we are hearing. Pulls them up really hard. They don't listen to him. They start leaking against him. He starts leaking that he's had enough. That's the situation we are seeing tonight. How do you read this, Atul?
Wasn't it too little too late after losing the test match? And the point is that there's a lot of digressing happening on the show. What are we talking about? He never said he doesn't want to be the coach. And these fights and in fights, we always presumed is going to happen, but things were fine. But the results were not there. And I think the biggest thing is that we lost to New Zealand at home against those spinners. And our guys have been born and brought up on these pitches. So that was more jarring for me. And suddenly after this Australia thing, everybody is just the whole, Pandora's box has opened up. But I think we are just talking across formats. And I think when you talk about, first of all, you must get your facts right, Arnab, because I trust your channel. And, 108 countries play cricket and only 50 countries play Coco. And I'll tell you the number of players also in the world. So never say
we all know the reality. I know you won't like that, but I know the reality. How many countries play cricket seriously and how many are there for it to made to look like a global game? So I have my views on that. I'm not going to change my views.
So I think
I'm not comparing. I'm just saying that cricket is not a global game. Russia doesn't play cricket, China doesn't play cricket, US doesn't play cricket. You're trying to force Canada to play cricket. I mean, it's not a global game. That's my view.
Force Canada, why? Because the players play there. I can give you the numbers of the players pursuing the sport also. So when you say world sport, you compare to football, we are 124th in the football. You never have a program about that. So I think just it's low-hanging fruit, and I think it's the easy target. So I refuse to be part of a lynch mob. But you're right at certain points that there is something wrong. It has to be, the big stars get a lot of leverage. And what the board has done is that they're trying to just find out, there's not the reason that the wives and girlfriends were allowed, not the reasons that, some leverage, extra leverage was given, but there's an extra rope to the players who've done well in the past. And that is wrong because cricket is a team sport. And I think once that happens, then it demoralizes the remaining players.
Okay. See, listen, Atul, we don't have to agree on my views on cricket. I always say these things deliberately so that we begin to think that we as a country can't be a single sport nation, and we are still a single sport nation. That's terrible for the world's most populous nation. To be largely a single sport nation is not good. So I keep emphasizing that we need...
We still believe that we've only got one sport.
It's effectively, look at the money being spent, these sponsors, why are they wasting money on cricket? 90% of money on cricket, 5% you throw out like some CSR activity on some other sport. You don't respect
number one
other
sport should be chess and javelin throw, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying I'm very proud. Chess is a global game. Cricket is not a global game. But anyway, I'll get into this later. My point is, Gulu, give me the inside story. I have a feeling when I read all these reports that it's the team stars on one side, Gautam Gambhir on the other. And now after the loss, after they've done badly, the pressure is showing in, and they are questioning why Gautam Gambhir carries his personal assistant everywhere. Apparently now stories are being planted that the Indian Cricket Board does not like Gautam Gambhir's PA being everywhere. Why is he sitting in the car? Why that car is for national selectors?
His manager, yes.
Yeah, his manager or his PA. How did the manager have breakfast in a cordoned off area in a 5-star hotel where team members should be there? So it's getting very personal, isn't it?
You see,
what is this?
You see, when a team loses, then the pigeons come home to roost.
Terrible.
Everybody, it's like the vultures descending.
Yeah.
As long as India is winning, everybody is grinning.
Yeah, everybody has breakfast parties everywhere. Now they want to say, why are you having breakfast here?
The point about the wives, that's also low-hanging fruit.
Why is that?
I mean, it's an easy target. The point is, Arnab, today the Indian cricketer is on the road practically 12 months in the year.
That's true.
If you're going to stop wives from accompanying them, then you can imagine what is going to happen. I mean, there'll be a whole lot of retirements, early retirements.
So why have they done this now? Suddenly...
They've done it now because it's an easy target, because the public is baying for blood.
Who's being targeted?
The wives are being targeted.
By the BCCI?
Assuming that that is a BCCI.
The BCCI is under pressure, so they are targeting the cricketers' wives.
My point
No,
is...
I don't think so.
No, let me...
No, is that...
clarify.
Okay, 1 minute. You can... Atul, I'll come to you right after Gulu. Yeah.
My point is that the hard questions are not being asked.
What is the hard question?
The hard questions is, why do the top players not play enough domestic cricket?
Now they don't play, my God.
Now, let me tell you, the last time Virat Kohli played a Ranji Trophy match for Delhi was 2012. And the last time Gautam Gambhir played, Rohit Sharma played for Mumbai, it was 2015.
Does Virat Kohli think domestic Ranji cricket is beneath him?
Now,
does he think it's beneath him?
Well, the point is that there's so much international cricket being played. To squeeze in a few games here and there is also a logistical issue. But that is a logistical issue that the board has to manage for the players. They have to ensure that, look...
But the board has exempt them. Bumrah has been exempted.
Bumrah is being exempted because
Rohit has been exempted.
Because he's a fast bowler, and fast bowlers have a workload. he got the injury in the last test. India would have won the test most probably if he had not been injured.
Pampering. This is some kind of pampering.
The fast bowlers is a different issue. But let me tell you, last year, the board issued a directive that the top players should play Dulip Trophy. They did not. Now they've issued a directive that the top players have to play the second round of Ranji Trophy, which begins on the 23rd. And the news coming out is that Rishabh Pant, for example, was at the Delhi Ranji Trophy camp yesterday. And Rohit Sharma is also training for the Ranji Trophy match. So this time, they're turning on the screws. Why? Because the Indian team is down. Last year, when they said that the top players should play domestic cricket, Dulip Trophy in particular, the players just shrugged it off because there was not a crisis. Now, when the crisis occurs, then suddenly it's firefighting mode. It's firefighting mode.
Yeah, well, everybody's got into it. I mean, the fact is, Srivatsa Goswami is joining us. He's played for RCB, RR, KKR, SRH, Mizoram. Srivatsa, everybody's got into it now. Harbhajan has got it. Harbhajan has become pro-Rohit. And then somebody on Twitter says that Rohit is the leak. Rohit is the mole. What's going on right now is who is the mole is the big story here. Who is the mole, Vijay? And there is a mole. Everybody's pointing. It's like Agatha Christie, Poirot novel where all the people, who is the killer? And everybody's pointing. Harbhajan attacked somebody on Twitter saying, I know who your source is because you're blaming Rohit Sharma. Somebody has leaked information to you. It's a mess. Isn't it a mess? I mean, it's a mess. Srivatsa, do we acknowledge it's a mess?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, after hearing everybody, I have a couple of points to make. I'll make a quick one. When you get into any team, no matter if it's an Indian team or a domestic side or a club team, right? The most valued thing is the trust between the players. The thing which is absolutely non-negotiable, which I'm sure everybody will agree, is leaking the news or what's happening in the team meeting to the media person, no matter how close you are to them. You just cannot do that, which means there is a bit of trust issues between the team. There is a bit of insecurities. And I'll tell you something, when Gautam Gambhir came in as an Indian coach, everybody would be lying if they thought there wouldn't be any controversy. Gauti Bhai is somebody who doesn't like to be behind the scene. He's somebody who wants to be upfront in the scene, which was not the case when Rahul Dravid was the coach, right? No such issues were heard or seen when Rahul Bhai was the coach, Indian team won everything. You think there wasn't superstar when Rahul Dravid was the coach? There was. Rahul Dravid himself is the biggest superstar India has ever produced. So he managed the team very well. When you get into the international stage, it's not about how technically you.
But sources are saying here. Another leak story. Sources are saying that Gambhir pulled up Sarfaraz Khan for leaking team conversations to the media, and that Gambhir officially mentioned Sarfaraz's name to BCCI officials in a review meeting.
Yeah, so where is this coming from? Even if it's even if he said that in the meeting, why is it coming out in the media?
But then Robin Uthappa also goes public later and says that Kohli has a terrible attitude and that is why somebody gets dropped. Kohli doesn't like someone's face, he gets dropped. A huge fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. This is absolutely non-negotiable. In the past few weeks, what you've been seeing with the Indian team, it's all become like those Saas Bahu serial which you see in the daily soaps, which is absolutely not on really.
But Srivatsa, you played in RCB under Kohli. Is that true?
Yes, I did. Yes, sir. I played.
Is that true? Is that attitude true?
Under his captaincy as well. No, not really. See, when players are in a certain level, I'm sure everybody will agree there has to be a certain amount of attitude, but that attitude has to be channelized in the right direction. I'm sure everybody will agree. There is ego between the players. There has always been, but sometimes that ego fuels.
Now, our players have become so rich and powerful, so wealthy, that they don't give a damn. That's my feeling about this. And I don't think they respect the game enough. Sometimes I feel they don't respect the game enough. They don't respect the country enough. You know what happened in Australia? Vijay Lokpalli. Shane Watson, vice captain. Mitchell Johnson. James Pattison. Usman Khwaja was suspended from the Mohali match. Right? A decision that proved costly as Australia suffered a 0-4 series defeat. But the fact is, 4 players of the Australian team were suspended because they did not give in to the coach's demands. The coach said, highlight key points by which we can get ahead. Players did not listen. It is the coach who had the final say. Is that the same case here, Vijay?
I've heard so many things being said here, like cricketers going back to domestic matches. When do you get time to play domestic match? Madipa is here, Srivats is here, Monty, I don't know how much you follow Indian cricket.
Madan Lal is here.
Yeah, Atul, of course,
Atul is
done. What I'm saying is that how many players get time to play domestic cricket? Board has to give them time. All the time they're traveling. So don't blame them for playing not playing domestic cricket. And also, Madipa should tell me, can you recover everything that you have lost by playing just one Ranji Trophy match? I mean, the series, England series is 5 months away. And there are so many things, Arnab. You talk about leak. First of all, you have to establish whether there was a leak, authentic news. What I'm saying is, don't go by what sources are telling you. I will hear it from Gautam Gambhir, and then I will realize that yes, somebody had leaked. Is this what he had said in the dressing room? And also, Arnab, you tell me, if your team doesn't perform, will you not take them to task in the studio? It is your job.
Of course I will. But these are big shots, so nobody can touch them. I have with me, joining the panel, Shobha Pandit, former Indian cricketer. Welcome, Shobha. By the way, Indian cricket women's team did really well today. Gulu, you want to tell everyone about it? Women's team, fantastic scores that they have done. I mean,
yes, against Irish women. It was excellent performance today.
Excellent. But what do you think of what's going on, Shobha?
It's a big tussle between performance and I think, somebody needs to have a hand over the shoulder of the people who are not performing. It is very important that today the human touch in the whole field is fading. We need to have that human touch come back, and where they respect and realize their place in the team. It is very important that we do not have anything that should be taken for granted. Like my coach had told me, let the bat do the talking, let the ball do the bowling.
No, but it doesn't happen like that. Shobha, the fact is, Virat Kohli is a difficult guy. We got to accept it. Atul, we got to accept it. Why are we talking diplomatically? I'll tell you one thing. We all got a series of opportunities to do interviews with Sachin Tendulkar. I was the only one who asked him when he's going to retire. He hated it. I asked him the question 3 or 4 times. No cricket journalist was ever willing to ask the god of cricket whether he will retire. Now that's terrible. Atul, let's be honest. Virat Kohli is a tough guy. If Virat Kohli wants his way or the highway, Virat Kohli was the man responsible for Anil Kumble declining the offer for a second term as head coach. But we don't want to talk about these things. We want to put these things under the carpet, Atul.
Not really. I think you're right. That,
is it not true?
Stars, they actually start to take more leverage, and the envelope is pushed every now and then. You're right in some ways, but you define him as tough or whatever it is.
Difficult.
Because he has been able to get away with things, and I actually question it, and then the whole lynch mob gets after you. But that spoils the.
No, but say it. No, Atul, say it. You got nothing to lose.
I've always said it because you know me from a long time.
Yeah, I do.
But I think this is the systematic problem, because once we're talking about across formats, now we won the World Cup. Suddenly, it seems like everything is gone from those highs. And who won us the World Cup? The coach was Rahul Dravid, and Rahul Dravid's core competence was what? But then again, Gautam Gambhir has won KKR, he's won the IPL, he's become the coach for Test cricket. So we are comparing apple and oranges, but you're right. That the leverage we give to old players, but players
Monty on the left.
Introspect. And I think they also know that, how far they can push, because they are choosing where to go, where not to go, when to go, people flying home.
Monty and Gulu.
When used to happen? We hear so many times that
Monty and Gulu.
People are just leaving the tour and coming back home. And we've never heard that people retire in mid-tour. You sign up for something and you let the team down, which
Monty
is
and Gulu.
upsetting for me also. And then we allow that system, we don't penalize them, and everything is normal, which is also sending a wrong signal.
So we should pamper. What you're basically saying, we should just put up with it till Madan Lal. What we are hearing is Virat Kohli se koi question mat karo, put up with it till the day he retires, and then decide whether you want to find other people, other coach, everything. Virat Kohli will be the last word in Indian cricket. That's Gulu. I mean, pretty much what I understand, Gulu.
Who's going to drop him?
Yeah, it is the way.
Do you know the name of all the 5 selectors? So the question asked is how many matches have you played?
Okay, Madan Lal.
Allows this happening, so.
भाई ऐसी बात नहीं है कि आप उससे बात नहीं कर सकते. You can, the coach always can go to and talk to him, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. पर ये जो coach है ना, they are appointed by the BCCI, but उसका जो tenure खत्म होता है तो वो player ही खत्म करते हैं. क्योंकि बात पता क्या है, there is so many leagues goes out कि ये coach ये नहीं कर रहा, तो उससे क्या होता है कि the BCCI also thinks, कि ठीक है, like we can remove this coach. You can't remove a coach in 1 or 2, 3 series. You can always give him a bit longer period for 1 year. There's so many coaches in India in the past.
But Madan Lal, Virat is considered as him so powerful, and he's been put in that position. Remember, Madan Lal ji, you are the very senior person. Sachin Tendulkar, VVS Lakshman, and Saurav Ganguly were on the cricket advisory committee that recommended Anil Kumble for a second term. But Anil Kumble said, I can't accept this offer if Virat Kohli is going to be the god, boss, king, etc. Because, Virat Kohli wants complete control. Gulu, this is the real story. Am I wrong?
No, I just want to...
Yeah, you're right there. I think I know.
Yeah,
I just want to make one point. Yeah. When Gautam Gambhir was asked about the future of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, he said they will have to decide when to retire.
Yeah.
I found that a bit jarring because I would think that it's the selectors who decide.
That's true.
In any job you're in,
Madan Lal is a selector, he knows.
So, yeah, he was a coach as well.
And like the retirement is a personal decision, But if they're not taking it...
Gulu, no, it's not. Gulu, is it a personal decision, Gulu? Do you agree with that?
The selector comes in. If they're not performing, then the selector can drop them.
It's a question of player power. Okay?
Player power.
No, but if you're on the tour already and the coach is seeing that, but is he brave enough or big enough or has the backing of the BCCI and all the selectors to drop him from the 11? You can't take a call like that. But you feel that, this person is just lending value. And I'm sure that, even without performing, you're talking about Virat and Rohit and all, the scene to, add value. Because just like, them being there actually adds a lot of...
But Atul, instead of solving these issues, BCCI, and I want a comment from Monty on former English cricketer. Monty, instead of solving these things, the BCCI, Indian Cricket Board, is too busy deciding how long and how many days wives will travel, whether they will travel in the bus, stay in the hotel or not. Is that the real issue here? I don't think it's the real issue.
Well, that's an outdated approach, to be honest. Like, it doesn't make a difference if they stay for 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Sometimes actually it's good to have the wives and the families and and your girlfriends there, because you can train, and then when you go back to your hotel room, the last thing you want to do is look at your trigger movement or be obsessed about your technique in your room. It's a nice way to switch off, and that's not the real issue. I think what the real issue is, how do you get these senior players to start performing and get India back, a winning team? So you got one option. You got like Ravi Shastri approach, which he gives out sound bites to the media, takes the attention away, like a Joseph Mourinho approach. He's like the manager of the team, and then that motivates the players, let them, knows how to get the best out of them and let them perform, go out and let them perform. Or you do the John Wright, Gary Kirsten approach, unassuming, take the back seat. And that's where Gautam Gambhir is stuck in the middle, because he's a bit of a disciplinary, a bit of a taskmaster, a bit of a headmaster kind of, coach. He's got to sit down, and the BCCI got to sit down and work out.
They can't work out. They can't work out. Both these personalities are not going to work out. Monty, I think they have a huge issue. They have turned cricket into a soap opera. And in 2023, we all know how they fought, and they fought so badly. I think both of them were fined 100% of their match fees. That confrontation between Virat Kohli, where they almost came to blows, Virat Kohli and Gautam Gambhir, I think between Lucknow Super Giants and Royal Challengers Bangalore, and that
it's irrelevant here, Arnab.
It's not irrelevant.
There are no permanent friends and no permanent.
No. These guys are they're personal. They're personally fighting.
But everybody agreed to be on board when it's the question of India, So I think let's not go back.
No, but they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
Even wanting to do something hasn't got the mandate to do it. He had the mandate to choose his support staff, but now he's not performed. And I think if the contract is till 27, but I'm sure there's some fine print where it says that has to be performance linked. And if he has allowed some players to play when he felt that they are not putting the weight, so he has to be blamed himself for that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm taking a caller from Bengaluru. Bhupalam, Sunil is calling in. Sunil, what's your point here?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
My question is that India team, though won the World Cup, it was the B team that won the World Cup, not the regular A team.
You agree? He says the regular A team did not win the World Cup. The B team, he calls the B team won the World Cup. You agree with that?
Well, Kohli,
which is the A team?
You can reply to Sunil. Yeah.
Sharma and Virat Kohli were in the team. So whether it was A team or B team, I don't think there's a major difference. The point is that they're no longer playing T20 cricket. The bigger names.
But they were there.
But they were there. They were there for the World Cup. So I don't think it's right to call it the B team at all. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Bhupalam, thank you very much for calling. We have a situation here now, Madan Lalji, where the BCCI is promoting the superstar culture. I think it's a bit too late. Should both these gentlemen be asked to take a back seat, get a completely new team, experiment in the next outing, maybe in the Champions Trophy, get both or all 2 or 3 of them out, try and experiment with a new team? Would you do that, Madan Lalji?
In the context of the 3 formats.
In the context of the 3 formats, we've got to make people feel dispensable.
No, you have to wait for it, like they let them play this champion trophy and then they can decide, because, they are playing in a different place now. The Australian conditions are totally different. Now when they goes to play the champion trophy, that will be a different condition altogether. They might score runs and they are the Indian team at the moment. I'm sure, I know that they're not done well, but the pressure is on them to perform. Otherwise, they have to go out.
Now, what about Gautam Gambhir? His attitude is not going to change. He has fought with the bowling coach also, Mon Morkel. He really had a bad fight with the bowling coach as well.
Why he complain? Why we have a fiction of foreign coaches, I don't know. Because why?
But he's the one who got him as his bowling coach.
The coach is going to fire him.
Atul?
He's the one who's got those coaches, So I think you have got the inside news because, I don't know, maybe you will tell me later who I fought with today.
Huh?
I'm just saying, because, the question is that, we have got 1.4 billion people, but 8 of the players are playing across formats, which is not logical, doesn't make sense. And, New Zealand has got 3.5 million people, only 4 players play across formats. So just work out the mathematics. And I think if we're talking test cricket, where are the players for test cricket? That's why we have to rely on these big names because we think that they will do the job. Because the newer lot cannot play ugly, dirty batting for one session. So the players who you prepare for test cricket, they have to make money and big money in IPL. So they start playing these shots. So that culture of playing test cricket is not being there because nobody takes it seriously. We have to rely on big stars. We have to sell the rights also. And the point is that unless you compensate the players who have got the knack for playing test cricket for them not getting picked for IPL, you tell me, have you ever seen Cheteshwar Pujara in one single ad? Never.
Cheteshwar?
Pujara.
Have you ever seen him any advertisement?
What is the point you're making?
I'm making the point because it is people don't respect the actual cricket. That's why, and the players who have got the capacity to be good test players are forced to play these airy-fairy shots, and they also get confused because they have to make big contracts, they have to make the money also, and then and board doesn't compensate them for not being picked for IPL contracts, so they have to be compensated and prepared especially for test cricket.
So they prioritize their own game over the team.
What team? Because they have to make a living, right? So if a guy has got the talent, Sarfraz Khan, let's say for instance,
so that's why in South Africa, in the 2023 match, Virat Kohli, who was criticized, he took all the time in the world to score his ton. It was a close match.
Again,
I'm not. Am I wrong?
No, I'm just saying that we have to actually prepare test cricketers, and test cricketers, if you prepare, they will not be able to, put their mind and soul into it because they also want.
Okay, Sandilya is calling from Hyderabad. Hyderabad, Sandilya is calling. Sandilya.
Arnab ji, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir, and all the panel members.
Sir.
Sir, I have an opinion on this. As you're talking today, the superstar culture has been prevailing for a long time in Indian cricket right now. And the same thing happened with Mr. Anil Kumble, one of the greatest spin bowlers of the country, who was deliberately relieved from his duties because of a superstar.
Because of Virat Kohli, let's say it openly.
Yes,
because of Virat Kohli, he got insulted by Virat Kohli, and even though Sachin Tendulkar and Saurav Ganguly and VVS Lakshman requested him to come back, he couldn't take it. He chose self-respect over being insulted by Virat Kohli.
One more thing, these people are paid heavy sum of amounts, and what happens here is when they're paid so much heavy, they take all the things for granted. They don't play for the country. They play for self. However big you're a superstar, how many centuries you scored, Sachin Tendulkar, such a great batsman, the god of the cricket, was given extra leverage to complete his 100-100.
Yeah, keep playing. Keep playing, exactly.
It's a weak team in Bangladesh.
Agreed.
When it was time of youngsters to step in and play well for the country, you see Sanju Samson. He's such a good player, he doesn't get any leverage from the team.
Yeah.
He's been dropped.
No, Ashwin got no leverage, he's a legend. He got no leverage. He announced his retirement mid-series. Everyone knows why.
Such a bad exit for him.
Such a bad exit for Ashwin. And a non-performing asset like Virat Kohli will get all the time in the world.
Even for that matter, sir, Rohit Sharma. He should be off the team immediately. Why are they waiting? Why? It was the time of MSK Prasad when he was a selector.
Sanjay is calling in from Mumbai. Sandilya, one more caller. Sanjay from Mumbai. Sanjay, what do you think? Let's switch to Sanjay. Okay, we lost the line there with Sanjay. Gulu, people are calling in. These kind of conversations don't happen. News media doesn't talk about it. Come on, give me an insider's view.
Arnab,
you're the ultimate insider, I know.
The point is that a mixture of social media, massive IPL contracts and PR firms are creating a churn which was not there 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Atul has very rightly pointed out that somebody like Pujara,
Cheteshwar Pujara,
who is not an IPL type attacking player, he is left out of put out in the cold. And players who are trying to be groomed for Test cricket, they want to play attacking cricket to get their IPL contract. So this is the churn which is happening. And it's now what is happening with the PR firms in particular of these superstars, they have their own troll army. They have a troll army.
The PR firms?
Yes.
They unleash it.
Which are very active on social media, the troll army. And any criticism of one player, the troll army attacks you, and then there's rivalry between the so-called fans. I call them so-called fans because they're actually trolls.
Yeah.
So the Virat fan club and the Rohit Sharma fan club are at loggerheads perpetually. They are always undercutting each other and cursing each other. And for them, the sole player's place in the team is more important than the team performance.
I think we've had a good conversation.
So these troll armies are directed by the PR firms.
See, I think we are talking today. All I want today, Atul, I don't know anything about cricket. Atul, Madan Lalji, Gulu, Shobhaji and Monty. I know nothing about cricket, but I feel bad. There's so much emphasis, so much money. This is not what we deserve. I am grateful you all agreed to come on my program and speak about an issue that's generally kept under the carpet. Just see the kind of coverage here. Very low level by the traditional media. The fight is on social media. That's a really dirty fight. And I thank you all for joining me tonight. Very grateful to all of you. And